You know what's absolutely crazy about everything? All the thoughts that we had when we saw the teaser still hold true. Before this video starts, I'm just going to put the edit that I posted before the teaser review, and tell me whether it still holds true. Every single thing.
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
ये क्या है?
With the several problems and opinions that are being expressed online, I thought it was important to have an in-depth discussion about what really went wrong with this massive project. I had posted yesterday that I will be doing a spoiler-filled discussion about Adipurush today, and I got made fun of because people were confused on what spoilers I'm talking about, as everyone is well versed with the story of Ramayan. I just had an answer for those that expected Adipurush just to be a retelling of the sacred epic. This goes beyond that, so much so that Indrajit has powers of Flash and the Nightcrawler and is styled like a tattoo artist in Candlelim. And Ravan, just before battle, feeds his dragon raw tandoori chicken. I'm sure you did not expect that. The creative liberties are wild, so I thought it was essential to take a deep dive regarding several aspects of the film. I also want to get the fact out of the way that the music and background score have been raved about enough as the only saving grace of this film, and that the problem lies less around the actors portraying the characters and more on the vision incorporated by Om Raut and the dialogues by Manoj Muntashar, who deemed it fit for a sacred epic like this. So let's get down to the video and point by point really analyze the top 10 things that really went wrong with Adipurush. No establishment of Ram's character. The movie, with its 3-hour running time, just could not establish the characters and their personalities to have a deep connection with the audience. A sign of lazy writing is when you assume that the audience is already well versed with the characters from the epic, so you make little to no effort in their individual arcs. This is the overconfidence of creators that many are pointing out, because the calm, kind and soft nature of Lord Ram is only inferred rather than actually presented. The benevolence that Lord Ram has in accepting the 14-year Vanvas is only provided as a footnote later in the film, but you introduce the character fighting bootleg dementors in an awfully crafted action scene that only is representative of his physical might. But the essence of why Lord Ram is revered by everyone is never established. You know why the 1992 Ramayan film stands out? Because it from the introduction establishes Lord Ram's character by showcasing his courage of how he aids Vishwamitra in annihilating the Rakshas Tataka. In seeing his bravery and ability, Vishwamitra hands him several weapons that are indicative of an individual that will be revered and celebrated. None of the same exists in Adipurush. The flying demons are random, and so is their poorly rendered Jani Dushman leader, whose identity is never mentioned, not even being Tataka's son Marich, just someone random, and it bears no significance other than being an action scene. The moment in Valmiki's Ramayan where Lord Ram pleads to the people of Ayodhya to revere Bharat as their noble king, Dashrath in his deathbed being apologetic to his son, Bharat's disgust in knowing what his mother has schemed, his love and respect for Lord Ram, all encompass Lord Ram's personality, and we got nothing of the same in the film. The abundant love and loyalty of Lakshman and Sita. My biggest gripe along the same lines is that again, the creators just assumed that one should feel empathy, love and longing for the relationships Lord Ram has in this sacred text, rather than doing the job themselves of expanding on the same. As Adipurush starts with the Vanvas, their union before marriage is never explored. How Lord Ram broke Lord Shiva's Pinaka in the Swayamvar is not even mentioned. Ayodhya is but a distant dream in Adipurush, making me think that if the makers really wanted to do justice to this epic, a 2-part movie would have been ideal. A saga where part 1 could have actually ended when Lord Ram and the Vanar Sena build the Ram Setu. Because it is the dramatic moments in this linear text that really makes Ramayan so engaging, especially the case of Mantra filling Kaikai's ears about the misfortune that might be around the corner, as her son Bharat is not even in the reckoning to become king. The promise that Dashrath has to fulfill, the dichotomy and guilt that he feels, the cornered nature of the circumstances that lead to Sita and Lakshman wanting to be on Lord Ram's side. All of this is just assumed in Adipurush, and it makes the narrative suffer as the entire movie becomes cliff notes rather than a deep dive on any of the characters, their relationships, and their individual arcs. The hot-headedness of Lakshman, the sincerity of Sita, all is lost, and the creators of Adipurush think that a song will suffice in making that clear. The shoddy special effects and no improvement. One thing becomes abundantly clear as I saw Adipurush this second time. Yes, you heard that right. There has been no patchwork done other than dimming most of the scenes that have heavy digital moving elements in each frame. The demon battle scene, the case of Ravan on his dragon, the depiction of Lanka and it coming across as Hotel Transylvania, and it all is because of the tedious aspect of motion capture in the span in which this movie has been made just does not suffice. You are looking at a movie that was announced in August of 2020 and whose shooting was completed by November of 2021. A movie that has such intense motion capture and detailing is bound to be a half-ass product where there isn't a careful deliberation of how each element is going to be styled. The sorry nature of the battle sequences and especially the animated figures of the Vanar Sena is just representative of Om Raut believing that just like Tanaji, the storyline, dialogues and performances will paper over the cracks, but this time he did not get even that right. Jatayu and his relationship is abandoned. An odd creative choice made by the makers of Adipurush is that they showcase Ram and Lakshman constantly seeing the journey that Ravan takes in the sky as he has abducted Sita. The reason why there is a sense of tension, anxiety and anger that builds in Lord Ram is because Sita just vanishes rather than having a perfect view of who and how his wife was abducted. The biggest drawback throughout the film is that Lord Ram always possessed a sense of calmness, and when he gets full of rage upon knowing that his wife is abducted, it is Lakshman who reminds him to never steer towards anger. This is something that is not explored in Adipurush. The worst part about Jatayu in the film is that they kill him after Ravan's strike. In the text, what makes the moment beautiful is when an injured Jatayu in the arms of Lord Ram apologizes for not doing enough in protecting Sita from the Demon King. This is why Adipurush becomes so emotionally distant, because there is not a careful thought but almost an unnecessary need to move forward. The styling of characters, especially Lanka and its family members. The styling of the characters is just confusing. I don't particularly understand why the entire family and the Lanka army was an amalgamation of extras from Game of Thrones, Vikings and God of War. The spiky mid-2000s hairstyle on Ravan being styled with his sideburns as well, Indrajit with body tattoos looked exactly like Nightcrawler, Kumbhkaran is given the same style and depth as one of the goons from Brahmastra, and the worst has to be the styling of Vibhishan, played by Siddharth Karnik, who just looks like any other Delhi boy who will get your entry in Dear Donna. What's also alarming is that the makers sexualize Sarma, who helps Lord Ram in rejuvenating Lakshman with the Sanjeevani booty. But I don't know why they have scenes of her being scantily clad, changing and showing cleavage almost deliberately as if to indicate she is mischievous. If you actually read the text and see several of the adaptations, she is just faithful to Lord Ram and Sita. Balans Grave is a total joke. I kid you not when I say the depiction, choreography and just the idea around executing the sequence of Balans Grave is embarrassing. To pass this off as a vital point of the storyline in a highly anticipated magnum opus is nothing short of irresponsible. Bali and Sugriva are kings in their own right but are presented as an ordinary member of the Vanar Sena visually. The action is laughable, the moments never become emotionally riveting, and it does still upon second viewing look like a bloody mobile game. Ashok Vatika moments and dialogues are unintentionally funny. Rather than having a beautiful moment where Hanuman sings a song talking about his loyalty to Lord Ram as he visits Sita in the Ashok Vatika in Lanka, we get the dialogues that can be best termed as flippant, unserious and borderline insulting. From being addressed as Tere Bua ka bagicha hai kya jo hawa khane chale aaya, to Indrajit burning his tail and saying abhi to aur jalegi, and probably the most talked about reply by Lord Hanuman stating aag tere बाप का, तेल तेरे बाप का, कपड़ा तेरे बाप का और जलेगी भी तेरे बाप की definitely made everyone cringe and wonder why this was approved. What was even more hilarious than Saif Ali Khan awkwardly walking as he towers over everyone is when he fully went Aparijit mode while talking to Sita and goes from loving and doting to manic crazy within seconds. It was a sorry sight indeed because a demon king that one should fear had become a joke. The dialogues and its sorry justification. Manoj Muntashar is doing an entire media campaign right now as he defends the film and justifies the dialogues. It's hilarious on the 180 they have done on their statements before and after the film. When they were asked before the release of how much they have deviated from the original text, the writer said that they have not gone even a centimeter away from what the core essence of Ramayan is. But now in the interviews, the man claims that the story is just an adaptation, and if they wanted, they could have easily cashed in on the revered nature of the text and called their movie Ramayan, but they did not. The dialogues are also being justified by him by stating that it's an attempt to impact all age demographics, so it has been simplified, which is, I believe, total bollocks and a very weak defense of just poorly written lines. The airtime on the marketing of the film only digs a deeper hole for the movie, as the effort seems to be talking about the film and how it's important to be seen by Hindus rather than actually making an effort in making a compelling screenplay that people can be proud of. Don't tell me I should feel compelled to see something because of my faith while you haven't made the effort in making that experience worthwhile. Adipurush literally has a scene where Lord Ram threatens the sea god for not allowing them to cross with his Brahmastra. But it was actually Lord Ram's devotion and prayers that lead to the sea god to allow the rocks to float. One adaptation showcases Ram full of rage and the other of kind and calm devotion towards the gods even during dire circumstances. The dichotomy within Ram's mind to avoid bloodshed is also not explored, absolutely making me believe they just wanted to capitalize on Prabhas's Bahubali stature than actually giving a tribute to Lord Ram. Iconic moments and characters are half-baked. I was absolutely baffled at how half-baked the battles of Indrajit and Kumbhakarn were. If they had actually envisioned this film to be a two-parter, they could have actually explored the sons of Kumbhakarn getting slayed first, only to alarm the mighty presence of Kumbhakarn. The battle of Kumbhakarn against Hanuman and Lord Ram should have been of mighty proportions, of the level of Godzilla vs. Kong, of two unstoppable forces coming at loggerheads with each other. But as I said, Kumbhakarn in Adipurush is nothing but a glorified extra, slain so easily that it becomes a joke. Indrajit also is this tattoo artist running around like Flash and nothing else in Adipurush. His eagerness to impress his father is not explored, and this naive nature is something that really made his character so distinct. But we got a man just running like Tarzan the Wonder Car in every frame. No business being 3D. It's an absolute travesty that a movie so anticipated was not developed for an IMAX viewing experience. It tells you about the focus of the makers was less about the quality of the product and more to just cash in on the unanimous love people have for the story. The 3D impact actually makes it even tougher to look at the battle sequences, dimmed almost to the point of not being comprehensible, and reinstating in everyone's mind that this was just a mess from the word go. And all the pessimism, anger and reservations we had when we first saw the teaser drop 6 months ago still holds true after the release of the film. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below of what you felt went exactly wrong with Adipurush. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.